Morning everybody, how are y'all doing today? I'm doing pretty good myself because finally, after my 3-week hiatus, I finally have found another video to respond to. So yeah, I just want to quickly formally apologize for my extremely long break from YouTube, but I actually could not find any videos to respond to. But luckily we have today, and it is coming from none other than the man, the myth, the legend, CrapGamerReviews. Now, CrapGamerReviews, if you follow the console wars at all, you'll probably know who CrapGamerReviews is. He's one of the most infamous, well, I guess Xbox/PlayStation fanboys. It seems like every other day he switches who he's a fanboy of, depending on if the news is good or bad for one or the other. So yeah, this guy is notorious for just flip-flopping constantly, and today the video we're going to be taking a look at is just absolutely ridiculous because he's trying to claim that Xbox owners are smashing their Xboxes and switching to PlayStation because in the new Xbox update, Microsoft removed the ability to directly share game clips and game captures to Twitter. I just don't even understand anymore, man. But you know what? I'm not even going to keep this intro that long because honestly, I've kept you guys waiting 3 weeks already. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video.
Microsoft is known for making some pretty incredible announcements lately. They've kind of gone on the right track. A lot of people are very happy with what Microsoft is doing, and we continue to see some good things coming from them in terms of their first-party output. We know their scores are getting better and better. The quality is getting better and better. People just want to know, when are we going to get the games? But of course, for every 3 steps forward, it seems like they do take a step back, and fans are complaining about this, and I find it to be pretty incredulous that this is something that Microsoft will just let go.
I mean, we are like 30 seconds into this video, and this dude is already being extremely disingenuous. He's saying, yeah guys, you know, Microsoft's been doing a lot right recently. The games and quality have been getting better overall. Their game scores have been getting better, which, you know, I don't know why the scores of a game matter. Like, if you enjoy a game, why should the scores of the game matter? I mean, my last video covering that review of Horizon Forbidden West is a pretty good example of that. But anyway, that doesn't matter. He's saying that Xbox is improving overall, but then is going to try to say in a second here that them removing the option to directly share clips to Twitter is ruining all of that. Yeah, let's just skip all the great things they've been doing. Removing the ability to directly share clips to Twitter, dude, this is like the worst thing ever. This undoes any good thing Microsoft has done in the last 10 years, probably even since Xbox started. Let's be real here. My god, dude, do you not hear yourself? Honestly, this has to be one of the dumbest videos we've taken a look at so far on the channel.
I know Microsoft is far from perfect, but at the same time, we have to realize that Microsoft knows what fans want, and they do things specifically for fans.
No, they do things specifically for money, like every other company on planet Earth. The only reason Microsoft ever listens to its fans, or Sony or Nintendo, the only reason any company ever listens to its fans is if they don't listen to their fans, it's gonna hit them negatively in the wallet. That's the only reason any company ever listens to fans. Microsoft does not do stuff specifically for fans, because if that were the case, the Xbox One wouldn't have launched in the way that it did. You know, you couldn't be offline, you had to have the Kinect plugged in all the time, or the Xbox wouldn't even function. Who was that guy who even said, when he was interviewed, oh yeah, we have a console for people who don't like the Xbox One, it's called the Xbox 360. No company does what they do for the fans unless it's going to hit them in the wallet. Why do people not get that?
If you don't have fans and you don't have people supporting your products, what good is it making the product? So you have to keep people happy, which is exactly what this is all about. Obviously, Microsoft and Sony are going to do things that maybe don't please their fan bases, but this sounds really, really lame.
Yeah, you know what, guys? Microsoft, they're the true villains out here. Sony they're just angels. Like, let's keep it real, you know, charging $70 for their quote-unquote next-gen games, which are actually cross-gen games, paying for timed exclusivity, not to aid with development, but just to keep other people from being able to play the game. And that includes, you know, playing the game, like PlayStation players playing the games with their friends. So that's going to tick those people off. Oh, and let's not forget that even after that whole Horizon Forbidden West situation where they promised the free upgrade, then got called out when they weren't going to do it, and then went back on it, they're still charging $70 for the PS5 version, and the only way you can get the game for $60 is by going through the PlayStation website and buying it from there, and the average person who doesn't look into that at all isn't going to know that, and they're going to feel like they're getting scammed, which they are. You know what? Yeah, dude, Microsoft is just, like, they're just the bad guys in this situation. Sony, they're just a bunch of saints. Let's be real. Microsoft removing this option to share clips and screenshots directly to Twitter. This is the worst thing to happen to gaming since the Xbox One. Like, let's keep it real.
And it sounds like something that maybe is just a mistake and not something Microsoft is intending to actually do to hurt gamers, because I think that would be foolish and stupid.
That's right, guys. This is truly hurting us gamers. Not being able to share Twitter clips directly from Xbox, you know, this is just the worst thing ever. Forget the fact that most people don't even upload their clips or screenshots to Twitter, and you can just do it from the Xbox app anyways. Like, just forget about that. Like, come on, guys. We as gamers, we need to rise up, because we cannot accept this. Like, we need to let Microsoft know that it is not okay to be removing this feature that probably nobody uses anyway, and that's the whole reason why they removed it, because they likely had to do some sort of contractual payment thing with Twitter to be able to get this service running in the first place. And if nobody's using it, then they're just literally throwing away money. Yeah, a contractual service thing, man. That was a great description by me. But yeah, guys, we as gamers, we need to rise up. We cannot deal with this for any longer. We need to tell Microsoft this is not okay.
And not only that, but it would give PlayStation and even Nintendo a huge leg up over what they're trying to do.
Oh my god, this guy is such a fanboy. How does this give Sony and Nintendo a huge leg up over Microsoft? They literally just removed a near useless feature from clip sharing. Like, yeah, it's nice that Sony and Nintendo can still do it and Microsoft can't, but how does this give them a huge leg up? Like, this video just doesn't make any sense, and it just doesn't need to exist. My god.
So I want to get into the video. Hopefully you guys are buckled in. It's going to be a good topic. What's up, everybody? I'm CrapGamer, and of course, this is CrapGamerReviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and much more. You'll probably notice a few changes around here, but hopefully that doesn't stop you from giving us a like, and possibly even consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much. Anyway, with that being said, you know, listen, I know how busy everybody is, and the fact that you take your time out to watch my videos means everything. If you could please take your time out to just like the videos, that would be awesome as well. Main reason is it helps things to get seen, and that's very important in the YouTube world. So thank you guys very much for, you know, rocking out with me and just being cool people. You know, it does mean a lot. So with that being said, let's get into this bit of news and the topic.
I'm just going to say it right now. You guys are absolutely welcome for me speeding that up. That was at 2 times speed, and that was still damn near 30 seconds. Like, this man just actually spent a whole minute at the beginning of his video, when he's not even into the topic yet, begging for likes and subs. Like, you know, you absolutely love to see it. Be sure to drop a like on this video, guys.
With that being said, let's get into this bit of news and the topic. So we know that Xbox is doing some really cool things. We also know that Microsoft has a tendency to, you know, maybe screw up once in a while. And that's not something that people talk about. It's not something that fans talk about.
Are you actually kidding me? Is this guy trying to claim that people don't talk about when Microsoft messes up? Like, my god. Dude, your entire channel, after you switched to being a PlayStation fanboy, was dedicated to talking about nothing but how good Sony was doing and how bad Microsoft was doing. Do you remember how much people clowned on the Xbox One and how much people still clown on the Xbox One to this day, back when it launched? Like, are you actually trying to claim that people never talk crap about Microsoft and they never point out when they mess up? Like, come on, dude. And do you not remember, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, when that whole Xbox Live Gold, like, price doubling situation happened? Like, they got so much backlash that literally within 24 hours they reversed their decision on that. Like, come on, dude. Are you actually trying to claim that nobody points out when Microsoft messes up? Like, my god.
But it is something that happens, and it's something that happens to every game company, everywhere, really. And to be honest with you, when you see stuff like this happen, I honestly think that this is something that is probably a mistake. So, the latest Xbox Insider Ring removes Twitter sharing for game DVR clips, but is it permanent? And did Xbox Game DVR just take a step backwards? So, according to this, it looks like they've kind of taken away the ability to share, not only just video shots, but screenshots.
Yeah, and throughout this entire video and for the rest of the video, you're going to act like that Microsoft is about to go bankrupt from this decision. Like, this decision, like removing a near useless ability to share game clips directly from Xbox to Twitter, dude, that, like, it's the end of the Xbox brand as it is. Like, forget the fact that you can't find an Xbox Series X anywhere because they're all selling out. Forget the fact that this console is breaking records compared to, the Xbox One, which I guess I probably shouldn't bring that up because it's not exactly really saying much. But anyway, like, forget the fact that this console is doing insanely well, that their games have been insanely good recently. Like, no, none of that matters because they removed the ability to directly share game clips and screenshots from Xbox to Twitter. And just like that, everybody sold and smashed their Xboxes, everyone switched to PlayStation, and Microsoft went bankrupt. The end.
This article comes from way of Windows Central and Jess Gordon, as many of you know. Just came out. I'm going to link it, of course, so you guys can check it out. It says Microsoft's Xbox Series X is a great console, arguably its best ever, with monstrous power and a cool, quiet package. It's by no means perfect, though. One of the biggest annoyances with Xbox Series X and its platforms pertains to Xbox Game DVR. Per their own polling, the Xbox Game DVR is a far bit behind the competition, with clunky editing features, slow performance, and poor file management. In this latest Xbox Insider build, however, it seems like it's going to get worse before it gets better. While it may be temporary and the result of testing, Microsoft has removed Twitter sharing entirely from the Xbox dashboard.
Okay, can I just say for a second that I have heard literally no one bring this up. I have multiple friends who play exclusively on Xbox and sometimes on Switch, but only on Xbox, and nobody has brought this up. And do you know why? It's because nobody has noticed, because nobody cares. This is the only time I've ever seen anyone talk about this ever, and it's just in this one article that's supposed to report on everything related to Microsoft and Xbox. Like, nobody cares about this. That's why nobody has brought it up before. Like, my god, dude, out of all the things you could have made a video on, this is what you chose? Like, were you really desperate for views? Like, come on, man.
This means that users won't be able to share directly to Twitter anymore, which is a feature both PlayStation and Nintendo support directly. As of writing, you can still link your Twitter account to your Xbox Live account, but the only purpose it does is serve to display your username on your Xbox Live profile. As for why they're doing this can be anyone's guesses. Microsoft often removes features citing low usage from its users as an excuse, but for those few who do use those features, it comes at a bit of a kick in the teeth. It could be that Microsoft has to pay Twitter a fee for API access as it doesn't think it's worth it anymore. It could be that Microsoft is gearing up to replace the system with something else that will allow you to share from your Xbox directly to Twitter, but all of this right now is just speculation. It comes off as odd given that Microsoft just reintegrated Twitch streaming into the Xbox dashboard.
Okay, so apologies, I know that was a longer clip, but it kind of needed to be played, so I just want to point something out here. So the article literally says right there that they just reintegrated Twitch streaming back into Xbox and they're getting rid of this. So wouldn't logic tell you that maybe they don't want to pay for both services, and if more people are going to be using Twitch streaming integration than Twitter sharing integration, then maybe they would want to stop doing the Twitter integration so they don't have to keep paying for the service, and then they can use that money to dedicate to Twitch streaming because that's what people use more. Like, I mean, that just seems like a logical conclusion to me, but then again, we are dealing with a Fanboy channel, so logic is not present.
They've reached out to Microsoft to get clarification for the plans, but if it is indeed plan changed and no replacement lined up, it's just another reason to be annoyed with clip sharing in Xbox. Now, let me say this. I don't think it's something that few people use, because the whole thing that Microsoft added to their freaking controller in, 2020 is the share button.
Okay, so first off, huge X to doubt that a ton of people use that Twitter sharing feature, because if that was the case, they wouldn't be removing it. Second off, that share button that they added to their controller, that is not specifically for Twitter. It doesn't have a little Twitter logo on it, and you click it, and then it just records and uploads to Twitter automatically. Like, that button is not specifically meant for Twitter. It's meant to help make game captures easier. So I don't see why you're bringing this up. Like, it's not like that button was specifically designed for Twitter. It was designed for game captures in general, so that way you don't have to, like, go out of your way and press a bunch of buttons to get into the game capture menu anymore, and then you can just record from there. Like, you can just press the button and it records for you. Like, that button was not specifically designed for Twitter sharing.
Right? They copied the share button that Sony had created in 2013. That's the big improvement. People don't understand. Like, I see shares all the time. Yes, I follow gamers, but everybody shares their video game clips, their clips, their screenshots. It's free advertising. Now, I'm not going to come down harsh on them just for the sake of being harsh. I'm saying, you know, it's one of the things that they get free advertising, right? They get basically free advertising. And for me personally, I don't understand why they would continue to, you know, kind of not have this amazing feature be out there. Like,
you do realize they can still get quote unquote free advertising from this, right? Like, you can still post those clips to Twitter. It's just now you have to do it through like the Xbox app or something like that, or through PC. Like, you can just go to your game clips or game captures from your account and just upload them from either your phone or your PC. Also, if they were getting so much free advertising from this, then they wouldn't have removed it. Like, come on, man, use some common sense here. Also, this is not an amazing feature. It's sharing clips directly to Twitter. Like, oh my god, wow, how incredible. How long have we been able to do that for on any platform, including like cell phones and stuff? Like, yeah, what a truly revolutionary feature. Am I right, guys?
To me, I just think that it doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense, and I'm sure we'll probably see some kind of clarification before too long. But yes, fans are rightfully ticked off about this, and I don't understand the whole idea behind it.
I mean, you say fans are ticked off about this, but you have provided literally 0 examples so far, and you're not going to, like, spoiler alert, he's not going to provide a singular example of anyone being ticked off about this in the entire video. I wonder why. Maybe it's because, you know, fans aren't actually ticked off by this.
Because, like I said, even Nintendo, who absolutely, without a doubt, is stuck in, you know, some kind of 30-year-ago time loop. Where they don't allow people to stream their games, they don't allow people to put gameplay up on certain things, or, you know, they got a lot of hoopla that you have to go through. But they allow direct sharing to Twitter for screenshots and things like that. I think, you know, we're in a day and age where it's silly not to have the ability to do that, and I don't understand what Microsoft's thoughts could possibly be.
My guy, are you really going to point to Nintendo as the example Microsoft should follow? There's no party chat. You can't even message your friends. Like, you have to use an app to even get into game chat. Like, do we really need to go down this road? Like, is he really saying Microsoft, a multi-trillion-dollar company, needs to follow Nintendo, a multi-billion-dollar company? Like, nah, bro, I don't think so.
But again, this is the outer fringe of the, you know, the trial program. So, you know, maybe we'll see what's going to happen long term, but it does sound a little bit weird to me that people aren't going to be able to do this, and I just don't see Microsoft, you know, cutting out the ability to do that. So obviously they're trying to drive. I mean, one thought is if they do remove the ability to do it right away, it's like they are trying to drive all external social network sharing to the mobile app. You push it and, you know, there it is or whatever.
So the article you were reading earlier said that they likely have to pay a fee to Twitter to do this. So if they have to pay extra money to not only allow you to share directly from the app, but also directly from Xbox itself, and no one is doing that from Xbox itself and everyone's using the app, wouldn't logic tell you that maybe they don't want to just throw that money away for something that no one, like literally no one is using at all? Like, again, I don't know, man. Maybe using some common sense could really help you out in this entire situation.
I could see like something like that being the case, but the interesting thing is, whenever I try to view screenshots or videos on the social app, I get a little frowny face and it says I can't do it or whatever, so it hardly works. So sharing from the Xbox itself is always the easiest way to do it. And you know, for me, I thought it wasn't even like, oddly enough, I just learned that you can actually share up to four pictures at a time, screenshots at a time on PlayStation. So that, you know, I was hoping that Microsoft would add that. Remember, they used to have Upload Studio with backgrounds and this kind of, that stuff is cool. It's creativity. It creates a lot of free advertising for games, free advertisement for your platform. So I definitely don't understand what the thought process is here.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's questioning. By now, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Behind removing it, and I hope that they don't remove it, and I hope enough people kind of speak out and say, hey, please don't remove this feature. It's something that we use. I don't care how few you think use it. There's always on my thing trending screenshots, and Xbox Series X or whatever is a great way to do that, and I hope they continue to allow that.
Okay, so you just admitted that very few people do it, and even then, like, of those very few people who do it, how many of those people do you think are actually doing it from the Xbox itself? Like, if Microsoft is going as far as to shut this down from being able to share from the Xbox itself, like, don't you think that the amount of people using it must be like unfathomably tiny? And like, even those people who are uploading it straight from the Xbox, guess what? They can just do it from the mobile app or from PC. It's really not that hard.
This would be one of the few missteps that I've noticed from Microsoft lately, and it just wouldn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. And I do think that there are a lot of people that are kind of talking about this, and there are a lot of people, you know, that are able to sort of go out there and say, hey, you know what, I want to share my clips, and you know, people get interested in that stuff, and to me, that's what it's all about.
So gaming is no longer about playing games, it's about sharing screenshots and clips directly to Twitter from Xbox specifically. Like, come on, dude. Also, once again, I'll say it again, I'm sorry if I'm getting repetitive here, but if so many people were using it, then why are they shutting it down?
With that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys check it out. You guys are amazing. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Crap gamer out.
And right there is the end of the video. So basically what we learned today is if Xbox removes the ability to directly share clips from Xbox to Twitter, then Microsoft as a whole is going to go bankrupt. Xbox is done. The Switch and PlayStation have this massive advantage that Xbox doesn't have, even though by CrapGamer's own admission, most people likely aren't even using this feature, and the few people who do use the feature are probably doing it from the mobile app or from PC anyway. But yeah, anyway guys, I just want to thank you so much for watching. Again, apologies for not uploading for a couple weeks. I'm trying desperately to find more videos to make topics on, so hopefully we'll have some more frequent uploads in the near future, but we'll just have to see where it goes from here. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and I will catch you guys next time.